Hi, welcome to my views and news. Some new stories from Ethiopia, Eritrea, Sudan, and Somalia. Firstly, Eritrean embassy in Ethiopia shared a New Year message yesterday. Did the embassy mock Ethiopia through this message? The message had some pictures too attached. Secondly, Fano fighters entered a town in Gujum yesterday. Heavy fighting has been ongoing for the control of this town. I think Fano fighters withdrew from this town a few days ago. They returned yesterday. And 3 days ago, they entered another town along the same road. And they captured some ENDF soldiers too in that town. Thirdly, talks between Somalia and Somaliland resuming with the mediation of Djibouti. And lastly, a statement from Egyptian Ministry of Information telling Egyptians to leave Sudan. No matter where they are in Sudan, they've been told to leave. It's a very important statement. Firstly, viewers, Eritrean embassy in Ethiopia shared a New Year message yesterday. On its social media page, the embassy shared this message. Short message, but symbolic message. The message reads, Happy New Year. But the message has some pictures attached to pictures of Eritrean ports. I think Massawa's pictures are attached to this message. Pictures show Massawa port, ships there. Why was the need for attaching these pictures to Happy New Year message by Eritrean embassy in Ethiopia? Isn't it that the embassy is mocking Ethiopia? That Massawa is part of Eritrea, as a part of Eritrea, and it is a way of sending a message to Ethiopian government that Ethiopian government should stop its provocations about access to the Red Sea. That is how I see this message. Embassies, diplomats know how to send their message in veiled terms. They know how to use the language, how to use images to send a message. They work diplomatically, they speak diplomatically, they write diplomatically. That is how embassies work. So I see this message not just a message of a new year, a wish for new year for Eritreans, but a message from Eritrean government to Ethiopian government. I think this is the first time that Eritrean embassy in Addis Ababa has said something about the Red Sea, about Massawa, about the ports. The embassy remained largely silent in the past few months. Since PM Abiy's statements about access to the Red Sea, Eritrean government has issued only a few statements, two or three, I think. Though Eritrean activists, government-backed activists, social media influencers have been told by Eritrean government to lash out at the Ethiopian Prime Minister, Ethiopian government. So all day we see that Eritrean outlets criticize Ethiopian government. They highlight the weaknesses, the failures of Ethiopian government. But embassy remained silent. This is the first time that embassy sent a symbolic message in support of Eritrean sovereignty and territorial integrity. Secondly, was Fano fighters entered a town in Gajam yesterday. It is being confirmed to us. Obviously, their entry in towns is short lived for a few hours. Mostly, they enter big town cities. They have some objectives which they want to achieve when they enter these town cities. And when the objectives are achieved and when a massive counteroffensive comes, they retreat. Gojam, which is seriously destabilized, though government paints a very rosy picture of the security situation in the Amhara region, but on the ground, businesses closed, educational activities disrupted, transportation disrupted, government officials not able to work in many parts of the Amhara region. ENDF convoys being ambushed. It's ongoing. No change on the ground. No big change on the ground in terms of normalcy. This week, Fano fighters entered Emmanuel town. There's a video on that. Emmanuel is between Dembecha and Debre, and they attacked a camp of Ethiopian National Defense Force close to Emmanuel. I think more than 60 ENDF soldiers were taken prisoner by Fano fighters in Emmanuel. I shared a video as well with you. The video was from Emmanuel. Now, Fano's entry in another town along the same road. They entered Dembecha. Is it Dembecha or Dembecha? Correct me, please. I pronounce it Dembecha. Some say it's Dembecha. Uh, Dembecha is between Fino and Debre Morcos. It is between, I think, Emmanuel and along the same road where Emmanuel is situated. After hours of fighting, Fano fighters managed to gain entry into the town. And last night, when we received this report, we got confirmation that Fano fighters were inside the town. Obviously, their entry in towns, cities is for a few hours, and maybe they have withdrawn by now. I could not confirm the latest situation. I could not get any details, but obviously they'll withdraw. That is what they do. They don't try to hold on to the town cities where they enter. They just enter, they attack police stations, they attack prisons, they capture weapons, they capture ENDF soldiers, they kill militia members, police chiefs, they kill people in government who are supporting the military, and then they withdraw. That is what they are doing since May almost, I think, this year, and no big change on the ground. Thirdly, we have resumption of talks between the Somaliland and Somalia. Djibouti is emerging as a peacemaker, a deal broker between the two sides. Somaliland announced autonomy from Somalia, I think, in 1991, around 3 decades ago. But Somaliland is not recognized by any international forum as a country. It has been in quest of international recognition. It made some offers to US government. It offered to give US uh, uh, place for US military base in Somalia. Despite its international efforts for recognition, it is still unrecognized. Somalia obviously claims that Somaliland is part of Somalia. Internationally, I think it's part of Somalia. Uh, Now, Djibouti's president Ismail Omar is mediating talks between the two sides. Djibouti is a small country, but it is very relevant in Somalia. I think Djibouti Somalia relations improved after Hassan Sheikh took office. And I think Djibouti President Ismail Omar's daughter married a man who worked as a police chief in Mogadishu, I think. And later he was fired, and then he contested election and he was elected as MP. He is from close to Mogadishu, if I am not wrong. So Djibouti has connections now in Somalia. Why did Musi Bai Abdi agree to talk to Hassan Sheikh? Talks have been held in the past too several times, but the talks collapsed. Somaliland's government is weak now, I think. Musi Bai Abdi is weak. He is on extension. His term expired last year, but he got controversial extension. And secondly, what happened in Lassanud weakened Somaliland's military. Somaliland has no authority in Lassanud. SSC Khatumo are in charge there. And Somaliland's military suffered losses in Lassanud. So that is why Somaliland is weak now, I think. Government is weak. That is why maybe government agreed, Musi Abdi agreed to sit with Hassan Sheikh. The two leaders have arrived in Djibouti, talks ongoing. Is there going to be a breakthrough? Let's see. But their engagement is an important development that they're ready to resume talks. Lastly, viewers, while Hamdan Dagalo of Rapid Support Forces and Al Burhan of Sudanese military are set to hold a meeting maybe this week, though not no announcement so far. They are meeting for Thursday. Was cancelled, but in coming days they could meet. And it is being hoped that maybe this meeting could lead to some sort of ceasefire announcement. While it is being hoped that there could be ceasefire announcement, I think Egypt thinks otherwise. Egyptian Ministry of Information has issued a statement. The statement is a message to the Egyptians living in Sudan. Egyptian Ministry of Information has told all Egyptians to leave Sudan immediately. No matter where they are in Sudan, they have been told to leave. Whether they are in Gidaraf or in Kassala or in Port Sudan, where there is no fighting. There is no fighting in Gidaraf, Kassala, Port Sudan, Blue Nile State. Fighting is in parts of Darfur, in Bari, Medrman, Khartoum, Al Jazeera. This is where fighting happened in the last few months. No fighting in Kassala, Gedaref, Blue Nile, and Port Sudan, etc. And in northern states too, which are border with Egypt. So the statement indicates that maybe Egypt believes that there isn't going to be a ceasefire in Sudan, and the war is going to spread. And that is why Egypt has told its people to leave the country. Let's see what happens. If Egypt has reliable information that the war is going to spread, it means that rapid support forces are going to continue their military offensives. They're going to make a move towards Gidaraf, Blue Nile, maybe Kassala. So coming days crucial for the conflict in Sudan. This conflict is going to reach the borders of neighboring countries to the east, south, and north. Maybe Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia could be affected. Thank you for watching.